Engineer. My name is Sanjit Tripathi. I am a software engineer and also associated with your engineer for last 1 year. I am welcoming you all to the live stream of how to start a career in a web development. So these are the agenda of the event. First, that is introduction to the web development, where we are going to talk about what is exactly in web development. What are the skills you are going to learn in the web development? What are the demands of the web development in the current market? Second, we are going to learn about sectors of web development. In sectors of web development, what are the things that you need to know about the web development, like front end, back end, and database? Like what are the client side of the code, what are the server side of the code, and what are the database side of the code? Third thing we are going to talk about is skills required for the web development. So what are the skills that is required and that is in a high demand in right now in the corporates, in the technology market, everything. Now after that, we are going to talk about what are the projects you can add to your resume about the web development that will enhance your chances to get proper employment with a handsome salary. Okay. In fifth, we are going to discuss and talk about how to get job in web development. In last, we are going to give you some end note. So I request you to stay with me for half an hour to 40 minutes until the session will end. So because at the end, we are going to give you very crucial information. And at last, we are going to talk about question and answer session where you can ask your question in your chat. So why don't we begin? So when the team of your engineer told me that I will be the speaker of this event, I was really excited. Why? Because, and not just excited, I am just jump out of the bed kind of excited, yeah, like you can see in this video. After that, why I am excited? Because just 3 or 4 years back I was in college and I was just that side of the table where you are currently. I was searching for the job, I was seeking all the opportunity. I was thinking about what kind of skills can I get? What kind of skill can I achieve to get the proper job, to get a handsome salary? Am I capable of getting a good job? Are my skills are relevant? Are my skills are totally up to date? Is it or is it not? So I kept working. I kept working on the skills. I become more interdisciplinary in my department. I learned from the mechanical also. I learned from electronics also. I learned from computer science also. And then I applied for the job. And when I applied for the job, what kind of interview questions I faced? So talking about this web development and how this web development skills play the crucial role in my career. So that all thing filled me nostalgia, and I just said yes to the team of your engineer that yeah, I will be the speaker. First of all, before starting and anything, I am just hoping that you all guys are safe, and your engineer team is also hoping for your guys' safety and everything. We all know that coronavirus second wave is in India, and every day we are facing 2 to 2.5 lakh cases. Okay, so time is not very good, but still we have to think about future. So for that, please, at the your engineer team, we are requesting you to keep your mask on, sanitize your hand, and keep the social distancing. All right, we are all hoping for your safety, your family safety, and everything. Please stay at your home and learn skills and add value in your career. Now get back to let's start this event and let's start the agenda. Why are we here? Why I am conveying all these things? Why you are here? Why you are attending these skills? Just go back to 1990 and 2010. When people says, oh, he is engineer. Like in Hindi, in my area in UP, people says that, oh, wo to engineer babu ban gaye. So that kind of thing was just a proud thing for engineers. Like in 1990s, 1995, being an engineer is like a high class job. Everyone can't achieve that. And that was a respectful job. Like this, man, and just a smiling face. wherever you see a smiling face, you can see that, yeah, engineers, doctors, like you see in most of the movies. Every parent's dream was like, my son will become engineer, my daughter will become engineer, my daughter will become doctor. But what happened? What happened after 2014? What happened after 2012? Why this smiling face become to this? Why every engineers right now in this world are just moving around with a placard for the looking for a job, looking for a job, looking for a job, and they are not getting it? Right now, the engineering sector become a kind of doom. According to a survey, engineers are being the most unemployed professional right now in this country. Every day we are learning in this paper. What? A graduate from the IIT, a graduate from NIT, they are just applying for railway group D job, the safai karmi, cleanliness job. I'm not saying any job is minimal or any job is very best. I'm saying that whatever you are qualified for, whatever you learned for the last 4 years, are you applying in your job? And if not, who is responsible? After seeing all that, your engineer started this firm, and we are committed to all engineers. Okay, so we will do something in this sector. We will get back that superiority, get that forte of the engineers back in this country. Okay, so everyone can now say with the proud that, yeah, I am engineer. How your engineer is working on it. So that's why we bring this event to you. Before starting event, before learning about web development, before learning about everything, you have to learn that why you are attending this, why you are going through this. But there's an irony. What is the irony? Job vacancies are not less. There are 50,000, 60,000 job vacancies. Okay, but unemployment rate is also high. Isn't it irony? If I say that job are not there in this country and that's why unemployment rate is increasing, that is a relevant thing. But job vacancies are there. Most of the vacancies are unfilled yet, but employment rate is not increasing. Okay, isn't it ironic? Yeah, is it ironic? But why? That is the question. So stay with us till the end of the event, and we have some great information at it, and we will tell you how to get job in the web developer. And not just web developer, day by day, week by week, we are going to have such kind of webinar where you guys can ask question, you guys can know what career you have to choose. Okay, what are the responsibility? Degradation of education level in colleges, choosing the wrong career, right path, wrong path. That is also a issue that most of the engineers graduate are right now unemployed, or they are getting very less salary according to their qualification. I mean 50k, 20k salary. If you are spending 4 years in your engineering and you're getting 15k, 20k as a salary, that's not much. You are working for 9 hours, 10 hours, and you're getting so much less salary. That is not justified. So let's start with the introduction to the web development. So have you ever seen this ad of GoDaddy where our Captain Cool say, अगर आपके पास सामान है तो आप यहीं क्यों बेच रहे हो, पूरे दुनिया में बेचो, पूरे देश में बेचो. That's what web development is all about. See, before you jump into a new career, it's important to consider the path ahead. Can your new industry offer you ample opportunity and stability? You have to know that. How likely you get hired for the particular career? So, in the wake of 2020, these questions are more important than ever. The COVID-19 pandemic has a major impact on the economy and on the job market. With hiring slowing down in the many sectors, with that in the mind, let's take a look at the state of web development industry in 2021. So, the first question is whether the web development demand right now. Because every job, every company is laying off, everything is happening, this pandemic is happening. So are web developer in demand right now? So first thing, technology is omnipresent in our lives. Omnipresent means it is going to be in our life for next 100 to 200, 300 years. Whether you are scrolling Facebook, whether you are paying online, you are sharing photos on Instagram, you are doing online shopping, you are filling some form for examination, there is always a team of web developer maintaining all your actions and ensure it works flawlessly. That's what web development is. Now just think about it and tell me that whether or at any time the web development is going out of the market. Because is Instagram going out of the market? Is playing online is going out of the market? E-commerce going out of the market? If these are not going out of the market, if online services are not going out of the market, how can you say web development is going out of the market? Because without web development, there is nothing. Who will maintain these apps? Who will maintain these sites? So web developer is a kind of very particular job and also a kind of never ending job. So who are the web developers? Those who can build and maintain websites, apps and software have a crucial role to play into their technology driven world. And I am not saying it. See, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment of web developer is projected to grow 8% from 2019 to 2029. That is the highest growth of any employment, any career. They are the Labor Statistics Bureau, and they have listed many of the employment like technician and welding, these, and finance, everything. But they say that from 2019 to 2029, 8% growth will be there in the employment of web developer because companies are just lining up for web development. Okay, that is much faster than the average of the all occupations. Average of all occupation, if you will just combine all the occupation there in the world and we will make an average, this 8% is also greater than that. That's how important is web development for your life. Now, whether such a stand still in unpredictable time of pandemic, yeah, that is the question. Because this pandemic is not hurting us physically, this hurting us mentally. Just stucking around in our home, everything is just going apart, not going to college, not meeting our colleagues, friends, everything is not working properly. But whether I just told you about web development, whether such a stand still in unpredictable time of a pandemic, let's see what will happen. Yes, this will stand. How can I say that? They are the stat with me. Web developers seem to have weathered the storm relatively well. Yeah, because whatever will be happen, whether laying off will be happen, many companies lay off their employees. But web developer weathered the storm relatively well. They are not going to be unemployed. Why? At the end, I am going to in that sector where I am going to tell you about what kind of the job you can do as a web developer. I am going to tell you that web developer are not going out of business anytime. So full stack developer came in the second on Indeed's list of the best job for 2021. If you go and just search for Indeed's list of the best job for 2020-21, you will see full stack developer will come on the second rank. That's how much demand of the full stack developer in this world. Search the web for the most in demand tech skill in 21. You will get JavaScript, web development, cloud computing, DevOps and problem solving. Don't worry, this is the first event of ours, web development. In upcoming days, we are going to have some more events on the cloud computing. On to the next week or in the 15 days, we are going to have an event, a wonderful event on the cloud computing, on the DevOps, on the problem solving, because these are the futures of the web development. Now, before going to further, I am just a ordinary employee of your engineer and also a software engineer. But let's listen something from a very intellectual person, a very well-known person, Sergey Brin. He is the co-founder of Google Corporation, and you all know him. What he said about the full stack developers, what he said about the website development, web development. He said, in response to the coronavirus pandemic, the ability to do full stack development can make engineers extremely marketable. As companies across all the industries migrate their business to a virtual world. Now listen to this properly. Every company is migrating their business to virtual world. If you are going for manufacturing, if you are going for anything, can you work as a virtual? No. Only web development or IT career are the thing that can work virtually too. Further, he is saying what? Those who can quickly develop and deliver software projects, thanks to full stack methods, have the best shot to be at the top of a company's or client's wish list. I am not saying this. Anyone else is not saying this. This is coming from the co-founder of Google, the world's biggest search engine company, Sergey Brin. Now still you are not believing me that yeah, what are you saying? How can web developer can earn such so much, and how there's so much demand? So if you want to quantify it, I am not saying it. Just go to your LinkedIn and search for web developer. In India, you will find 19,565 results. I got that, and these posts are just posted a week ago. That is the demand of web developer in India. In a week, they are applied. These posts will be closed, and another after a week, then when will you search? You still get that there is a demand of 20,000, 40,000 web developer in India. Still, many of them have not posted their job in the LinkedIn. So just think about it. How much the demand of web developer in this country. So what's the verdict? Is now a good time to become a web developer? Are you convinced now? Just tell me in the chat. Now I'm not going to bore you with the history of web development. I know that being an engineer, you always feel that history is boring, but okay, this is a part of the event, so I'll just give a quick tour toward the history. So in 1965, the first ever WAN wide area network is established. So in 1969, the first ever internet message is sent. In 1970-76, the rise of LAN, local area network, the Wi-Fi you were just using. 1988, the domain name system is born. .com, .in, everything. In 1987, Cisco ships its first router. In 1989, world.std.com becomes the first commercial provider of the dial-up access. In 1990, Tim Berners-Lee invents HTML, and from inventing HTML, everything just changed. The www changed. The World Wide Web goes to mainstream. And see, in 2018, 4 billion internet users around the globe. Every internet users in this world are going through World Wide Web. Behind every scroll, behind every like, behind every comment on Facebook, there's a web developer in backend maintaining that like and comment can grow flawlessly. That's how much web development is this country. Web developer are not just a job, not employment. Web development is actually changing this world. Now we are moving to our next agenda, that is sectors in the web development. Alright, there are 3 sectors in the web development. First is client side, second is server side, and third is database. So what are the front end developers, what are the back end developers, and what are the full stack developers? Let's see. Front end developers are those who code the front end of a website, that is the part that the user sees and interacts with. So you are opening a Facebook, you see your profile, your photos, your everything, and also that write a post, like, comment, share. That is the front end part. So bring the web designer's design. So web designer design a particular layout on as a sketch on a paper. And what web developer do? Web developer just create that design by using codes and bring it out on the browser using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Also ensure the responsive design. That is very important for the web developer. As me, I am also a web developer. I know how much responsiveness is important, because someone right now, someone of you are just watching this video on your mobile, some of you are watching on the laptop. So my website should be responsive to both, should be in the better layout, in that layout, so that it can work on as a mobile and also on website. When the mobile increases, that mobile web app became the application, Google app you are using right now. So Google app, whether you are Android developer, whether you are iOS developer, the basic of everything is web development. You have to know web development. Now backend developers work behind the scenes, building and maintaining the technology needed to power the front end. Yeah, okay, so everything is right. Okay, your car is looking good, there is a door, there is a good bonnet, everything is steering, full polish, matte body, everything is there. Okay, good headlights, everything is there, good seat, leather seats. But what is actually running the car? Are these design running the car? No. Everyone is seeing that design. Everyone is, oh, that design look good, that sports car look good. But what actually running that sports car? The engine, the pulleys, the time belt, the gears, those things, those engine is actually backend. Without backend, without giving power to front end is nothing, just a piece of paper. Backend is the thing that gives power to the front end so that it can function properly. Ensure that everything the front end developer build is fully functional. So now a user go and click on the login, and he just go to that login page and log himself in. He gave his all the data, everything. So how to store it? How he come back and log in again? That's what backend is. Front end is just a piece of paper. But still, there is a line in Hindi says, "जो दिखता है वही बिकता है." What a person can see, that only can sell. Okay, that's why front end developer are getting more and more money than in the comparison to back end developers. Now just remove the front end developers, remove the back end developers. Why don't become full stack developer, expert in both back end and front end development, guide on strategy and best practice, well versed in both business logic and user experience. So back end developer means business logic, okay, and front end developer means user interface and user experience. Now what is the front end developer job? That's we are going to talk about. Okay, so front end development job is like client side. So client side scripting or front end development refer to everything that the end user experience directly. Client side code execute in a web browser and directly relates to what people see when they just go to a website. So let's say you are going to a Facebook, you are going to the Facebook and just scrolling through it. Okay, just scrolling through it, so you get that there is a photo of your relative, of your father, of anyone. Okay, and you are going to like it. So when you like it, does the page refresh? No. Okay, just go back to 10 to 20 years and ask your father, ask your brother, big elder brother, anyone, that how your websites are working. They will tell you that whenever they click on any button, the cycle refreshed, the whole page got refreshed. Now how much we got advanced in our technology? Now our page is not refreshing. That is single page application. We are just clicking like, and just like happened. We are just going to comment, write something, comment happened. Page is not refreshing, class is not refreshing. That what that did, that just decrease the load on the server. When the load of the server decreased, the user data decreased. So the load of data decreased, so a company can function very relatively, very lightly, and you can have a comfort in accessing everything. So that's what the front end developer job. Front end developer job is giving you as a user a best experience, and that's everything. If right now you go to your website or the yourengineer.in and you find something flaw, you will not return to that website. But we create that website flawlessly. Everything is there. You will find everything. You want to go to certification course, there is a top on the nav bar, certification course. You can direct access to it. That is what front end developer job is, to make your experience much better in the website. Okay, that's what user experience and user interface is all about. That's what front end developer job is. Now back end developer job. Back end developer job is creating the logics. What logics? What kind of logics? Like let's say I have a register page on my website, or just you go to the Facebook and there is a sign up thing. You enter everything, every data. Now after that you go to the login. So how that your data is storing, so that you are logging for that with that password and email ID and just get logged in, because backend is storing all your data to its database, and from that database, that login, whatever the front end person has created that page of the login, that is fetching all the information and checking it. That's what backend developer job. Backend developer job is liking, giving power to front end. So whenever you like a photo, there's a backend code of the like. So when you click on that button, what will happen in the backend? That is what the job of backend developer. So that's how your like increases, and a fellow person know that yeah, you liked his photo or something. That is how backend developer job is. Now what is full stack development? Full stack development is you will maintain the front end also, you will maintain the back end also, and you will get a lot of money, a hell lot of money in comparison of front-end developer or back-end developer. So that is what full stack development is about. So in my company and also previously, I was also a full stack developer, and I know how wonderful this job is, how exciting this job is. So now we will just talk about another agenda, that is skill required in web development. So what are the skill required? Because these are all things we learned about the web development. Now we have to know what are the skill required in web development. First, markup language. So markup languages are used to specify the formatting of a text file. The two most popular markup languages are HTML and XML. So when added to a plain text document, HTML tags describe how this document should be displayed by a web browser. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. It's a markup language very similar to HTML. Okay. Now, what is the markup language like? HTML. So you know that HTML is the basic structure of any website. So you have to learn HTML first. I know that is the skill of a class 11th and 12th class student. But yeah, why we are not getting job? In the starting, I told that why we are not getting job. When we started this Your Engineer, when the Your Engineer team started this Your Engineer, and I joined this team, we have researched many colleges and see that most of the people don't know basic HTML and CSS. And that's really simple. You are asking for a job for the developer in the MNC multinational company and you don't know HTML. That's not a good thing. That's not a good practice. So first thing you have to know is HTML and CSS. And also on this YouTube page where you are, on this channel, we have provided all HTML and CSS course in free of cost, so that you can just get that skill. Without HTML and without CSS, you can't go to JavaScript. You can't go to any other further skills. How can you build website when you don't know how to get a response on the browser? Markup language is the thing where you can get the response on the browser. That command the browser that just show something. If I am writing h1 tag welcome to Your Engineer, so that should show on your browser. That is the markup language about. If you don't know that, how can you style it? How can you create functionality? How can you create anything? So basic thing you need is markup language, HTML. Second is styling CSS. There is no end of CSS. CSS is so interesting that you can just do and do and do and do. You can research, explore. You can make your website look fabulous. Okay, a style sheet is basically a set of styling rules. Style sheets language are used quite literally to style documents that are written in markup languages. Okay, so CSS determines how this content should be presented visually. CSS is also used to optimize web pages for responsive design, ensuring they adapt their layout to whatever device the user is on. Yeah, exactly, the media query. In CSS, there is a command called media query where you can specify your device size, 720 pixel, 1280 pixel, everything, and that make your website according to that layout. That is wonderful thing about the CSS. Now after CSS, after everything will be over, there is come the elephant in the room, JavaScript. For the last 30 minutes, whatever I am telling is telling for this skill, JavaScript, because without this, world is nothing. In upcoming future 20 years, 30 years, mobile development, mobile app development, machine learning, whatever you are doing, JavaScript just the future, and also past and also present. Okay, whole your Google Chrome engine is working on JavaScript. You are not believing me? Just go to Google and search it. Google Chrome is working on an engine called V8, that is a JavaScript engine. Even your every browser, Mozilla Firefox is working on the Spider Monkey. Your Microsoft Edge is working on Cherka. These are all JavaScript engine. Without JavaScript, there is no internet, there is no browser, there is no Google Chrome, there is no Mozilla Firefox. So what is JavaScript? It is developed by the Brandon Ike in 1995. It is based on the ECMA script. JavaScript is one of the core technology of World Wide Web. It can be used for the client side and server side both. Originally developed for the web browser, now working with platform like Node.js and Deno. So it's working on the client side also, it's working on server side also. So that's make it a wonderful thing. That's making a skillful thing. That's why you need to learn JavaScript. It is adopted by Microsoft later, so that will just increase its credibility also. So what are the high demand JavaScript framework? Now JavaScript was a language. React, Angular, these are not language. HTML is not a language. React is what? React is a framework. It is a framework which work on the JavaScript code. Okay, so React is developed by Facebook. Right now you are scrolling through your Facebook. Just learn whether in application, mobile application, whether in the website application. Just know one thing, that is the originally developed on React, because React is totally developed by Facebook, and then make it Facebook make it open source. Right now highly demanded market. Easy framework, highly effective. It allows you to create a code for each component and increase the chances of code reusability. Okay. In India, most of the companies had adopted it and giving the average salary of 5.4 lakhs per annum to freshers. If you are 2 years experience, I don't know what kind of salary you can get. 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh. Oh my god, I can't. I don't know. So next is Angular. Angular is developed by Google. So see, one is developed by Facebook, one is developed by Google. Go to Gmail. That form you are getting to write your email ID and password, that is Angular. Right now occupied most of the web development market. Yeah, exactly. The whole Android is developed on that. Android is not a language. Android is a framework. For developing a mobile website on the Android, you also need a language called Kotlin right now, developed by Google. That is based on the basic framework of JavaScript. So it is allow you to create a code for each component and help you to build a single page application like Amazon. Amazon work on the Angular. In India, most of the companies have adopted it, and average salary is rupees 4.8 lakh per annum according to paper scale. Okay, these are not our research. This is the reference we taken from the paper scale. Okay. Now the full stack developer. There are two kind of full stack developer. That is the mono stack. Second is mini stack. What are these? MongoDB. Both. MongoDB means database. Express.js for our backend. The Express.js is also a JavaScript framework that work on the Node. Okay, Node server. Now React.js in the mono stack, AngularJS in the mini stack, and then Node.js as a framework. Now, after learning all the skill of the JavaScript or web development, is it not enough if you can't put some project on your resume? Okay. So what are the project you can create, and with where this your engineer is going to help you in future? In upcoming 1 month, 2 months, we are going to have a live seminar where everyone will create a website where we are creating a web application, a project based on the React, sometime based on the Angular. So always stay tuned with us, and I'll just say that subscribe this channel, because we are not going to end with this one live. We are going to commit ourselves with every engineers in this country. So what are the project based on these skills? First is e-commerce like Amazon, Flipkart. Okay. Travel website, highly in demand. Educational website, edtechs, highly in demand. Analytics website, very high in demand, because every company want their analytics. How much, what are the users requirement? Every campaign, every political party wants the analytics. What are the voters requirement? What are everything requirement? So analytics is not going out of source, because everyone knows analysis. Everyone wants analysis. Even every team in IPL going on, every team in IPL wants analysis of their players, analysis of their next team. So that analytic website is not going out of the market any soon. Okay. And if you put AI, then it's just like a boom. So for learning AI, you have to learn the JavaScript and all these things. So now, how to get job in these skills? There are three things. Corporate job. With the skills in your hand, you can apply to any MNCs. And if you have skills, if you can answer their interview question. And by the way, with interview question, we are going also for the live seminars for how to answer the particular. See, at your engineer, that is not about the certification. Okay. After every certification, you become the member of that your engineer portal. Now, whenever there will be the interview question discussion, whenever there will be the project development, you will get the free access of everything. That's how we are committed to our engineers. Okay. So with skills in your hand, you can apply to all the MNCs, either product based or client based. Companies are eager to hire web developer. With the skills like React.js, you can get handsome salary as a freshers. Web development is not getting outdated in any way in the corporates. Second, freelancing. If you are not want to work 9 to 5, that's better. You can always bid for the project and earn a good amount of money. You can be flexible with time. Your skills make you more demanding. So you are React developer, You can build more and more. Okay, freelancer.com, Upwork, Fiverr are the few portals where you can get freelancing and earn good amount of money if you are skills. Now third, be your own boss. Why to go search for the job anywhere? You can always be an entrepreneur. Create your own website, e-commerce, travel agency are few of them. You can create and manage website and others and do client-based job. Let me tell you a story. When I was in college, there was my friend and who is not very good at academics and everything, but he has the skills. So in third year of his engineering, he started a firm and where he started creating websites for the local city shops, like for the hotels, for the restaurants and everything. And right now his net worth is around 15 crores. So be your own boss. By learning the web development, you are not going out of the business anywhere soon. You can be go for the job, you can go for the freelancing, you can be your own boss. How your engineer is helping you in this? By this HTML and CSS, we are bringing the course on these things. HTML and CSS, which is already free and you can watch on the YouTube. If you want certification, you can come to our website, you create a project whatever given there, you just finish a quiz and then you can have your certificate. JavaScript essentials, introduction to MongoDB, build web API using Express.js, that is backend. Learn full stack developer, mean full stack developer, building project on React.js, building project on AngularJS. And we are not just giving you certificate, we are giving you lifetime commitment. Okay, you will become the part of our team, you will become the part of our firm. And then whenever you are going to face an interview, you can just ask us. We will have a live webinar, okay, with 100 and 200 people, how to give the answers of the interview questions, how to build some project that you can just put in your resume that yeah, you built this project. So we will do it together. We will just increase, uplift the engineers face in this country again. So stay tuned with us. That is your engineer for you. Thank you very much, guys. Now the chat is open for next 5 minutes for question and answer it. Thank you very much. Yeah.